Hello everybody. Let me start it off first. This is going to be a talk about giving. How giving generates certain hormones and other chemicals in our body. And that leads to happiness. Not permanent happiness, but it's a way to start. So if you're interested in this subject about mindfulness, meditation and giving, please stay tuned, and I hope you will enjoy our show.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back and
to the Happy Life Show.
Happy Life Show, of course, and to my beautiful, darling, gorgeous, scrumptious Ahiranta.
Yay! Thank you, darling.
I won't talk about her, what she does for me, like ironing my shirts, cooking my food, tidying my bed, making the magic basket disappear of all of my clothes and turn up in my drawers and stuff like that.
And there I thought we just passed it.
What?
And you popped it in straight away.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is my absolutely wonderful husband, Ozay Tulku Rinpoche. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
All right. So
Hey.
Today we are going to talk about giving. How giving can enrich our life, and it generates happiness. And like Ozay will tell you, it's not a generous permanent. A state of happiness that lies within ourselves, that needs to be reached. But this opens us up, isn't it, giving?
Yes, it's a state of happiness, really. It's a state of mind. And well, you talk about serotonin. We spoke earlier, didn't we? Serotonin is the...
We had a little pre-talk.
In your head, I think serotonin, in it. And do you want me to wait?
No, just talk on.
It's so like if you give all the time, there's a possibility that inside of you is going to release those serotonin chemicals in your brain, make you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
But then for me, I mean, that's what science is saying, you know, because
let me read it to you, what science is saying.
They captured it, didn't they?
Science says that we humans are hardwired for giving. Our brains are hardwired. So helpers, people who are giving a lot, have a higher percentage of oxygen level. So giving, the deed of giving, increases the oxygen level. I think that comes because we relax when we give. And when you relax, the oxygen can be easily absorbed by your cells. It is a natural anti-aging remedy. Again, I think that is to do with stress again. The more you give, the lighter you are, and by that there's less stress within your biological system. So I think it's all to do with natural reactions that happen.
The trouble is...
Then you have serotonin that you just mentioned, that rises when we give. And the cortisol levels lower. Is that to do with...
That's negative depression.
Cortisol, is that, it's a negative thing, and that lowers. So giving is a really healthy thing to do.
Yeah.
Especially, of course, if we give without having any expectations, because otherwise we go wrong, isn't it? That causes even more stress.
Yeah.
So
I spoke a story some time ago on the Happy Life Show, and I mentioned about I would sit in spiritual circles, and in a way that's giving, you know, because people got things wrong with them, illnesses, and we in the spiritual church they have spiritual healing where they use their hands and sometimes it works, you know. And so I'm like doing the stuff like, you know, and then this Margaret is next to me, like, don't know if I should mention it.
Yeah, as long as you don't mention her surname.
Yeah, and she says, oh, that fella, miserable old git, she said, something like that. And I said, yeah, why is that then? And not even a please or a thank you that I done it. He just doesn't say anything. And and I do this. I don't get paid for this. I do it for nothing. You know, that kind of attitude. And she was doing it wrong because she was expecting payment. You know, like kindness. You know, giving back. So if you're doing something, it's got to be like non-expectant of anything.
That's
you
right.
know? It's just fueling that something inside of you, and when you work from there, then you do something and something happens inside of you. But if you expect, yeah, I suppose if something happens, you feel pleasant, your ego's been shined a bit, and so you know, we enjoy, all our egos enjoy being polished a little bit, and even us saints, you know, me and and you know, so there's a difference, there is, and I think that there's momentary happiness, and then there's another kind of happiness that comes from, you know, momentary happiness comes from material things in the world, and it's not a permanent state. It lasts, and often, you know, those things that have the power to make you happy in the material world also have the power to make you unhappy.
Yeah.
And in expectancy, like we expect our, you know, our family to be nice to us and our friends to be nice to us because we are nice to them, and we, you know, we try to do this, but that really is a trap.
Yeah, that's not giving, huh?
No, and that's
using.
like, yeah, it's not of the proper order, and it's always going to be there when you do it like that. It's always going to be there to make you pay, make you suffer.
Yeah.
And when you do it just because you're trying to lose yourself, it's a practice, and you mustn't be involved in it. It must be, you know, no you there, and just angelic. In a way, you're trying to create angelic, evoking like angelic energy, and that energy, if you do it proper, is potent force in the world, and it does manifest itself. It does help people. But if you were like I mentioned, the healing, you know, doing the healing circles, if you're doing that for egoistical reason, then you're not really gonna acquire much of that. I call it etheric energy, but I don't know what they call it really.
Yeah.
But it's certainly an energy that builds up the more you purify yourself. So if you want happiness, try to lose the self. And the self is like, the ego is very, very foxy. And
it's surfing, isn't it? It's serving other people. Go and serve others instead of moaning about what hardship you have encountered or how the things in your life are not going the way you want them to go. Start giving freely without judging people in their reaction, what might come from the person. Also, the way you give to people is very important. It's a meditation, because if you use other people to make yourself really feel good, that's really bad karma. That's not what we are talking about here. Yeah. But if you just on your path of meditation, and maybe even the people who are meditating for years, maybe haven't realized that giving is also a meditational practice. That you're mindful about why you are giving, are you expecting things back? How do you feel? Are you going to do it because you want to generate that nice feeling? So by that you are using other people, or are you seeing a true need? And when you see a true need, can you share that which you have? even if you only have £5, you can still share 50p, for example. We can all do it. It doesn't need to be big shares, isn't it? You don't need to give expensive things or big things. It can be as simple as a smile. If you walk up to a shop attendant who is there 8 hours, and everybody can say, yeah, well, they get paid for it. Yes, but they're also human beings. Why not ask, how is your day going? And give them a smile. And that can make somebody...
And don't expect a smile back.
No.
And if there's something wrong, then try to lighten them up.
You don't know what's going on in those people's lives. And that is a simple thing, isn't it? Just when you feel really down and low, we have friends who suffer from mental health, and our friend Tammy at the moment is going through a very low period, and we try to help her. You can't really help her, but to give her your friendship, but try to do something positive if your clouds is dark, because if we stay into that dark feeling and make something of your day. It's because every day is precious. We have also 2 people who are been told they have not long to live at the moment. I mean, there's so much going on. So life is precious, and why waste it in negativity? And
it's like a merry-go-round we jump on. This life we call life. This place we call life here. And then we don't know, when we're going to be jumping off.
Yeah.
And and those friends of ours, they're forced again. It's about that living in the moment thing. There's no future. We were talking about those happy children. One of the last videos we done. I don't think we put them out yet. And we were talking about the poor children. When you go to Thailand.
That video is on our other channel.
Oh yeah. Right, okay, is it?
Yeah.
Anyways, so I can talk about it more then, can I?
Yes.
One thing that makes me unhappy, really pisses me off.
No.
People laughing. I hate people who laugh.
Oh, well, you married the wrong person.
And when a person is miserable, I'm really happy. But that's just what I think, guys. Like out there, tell me what you think, and notes don't be all about it. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
And so, what is the answer? What is nobody really gives you a good sound thing you can work with, and to alter things inside yourself so that you can feel these stages. We call it happiness, right? But there's joy and there's bliss. In meditation, we advance through meditation by sitting down, focusing, still in the mind, not allow, if anything comes, to observe the thoughts. And my own personal meditation was to observe the thoughts. If they keep recurring the same thoughts and they don't go away, then what you do, you look at the thought, totally focus on the thought. You ask, why is this thought here? Oh, it's because I'm worried about something. Okay. Why are you worried about something? Because if I don't get money, blah, then I'm going to be homeless. Okay, so I'm going to be homeless. What can I do about that? Well, the only thing I can do about that is what I'm doing now, and nothing else. Okay, so why do you keep thinking about it? You're not going to change nothing. So, that's just a kind of for example, and you're melting those thoughts that evoke or invoke the feeling of insecurity and fear. And it's the same thing with any issue we have, like families, and it's like, are we allowed to talk about Tammy?
We don't tell her private situation.
Because we watched the video, and it's a bit hard, but I'm kind of motivated by Tammy really to talk about these kind of things, because I know there's a lot of people, and if only I could give you my mind and what I've done inside myself, you know. Okay, yeah, sometimes I get thoughts, yeah, and these thoughts will stimulate my feelings, my body reactions, you know, like hormones and everything, like the negative hormones and the positive hormones. And but I'm aware of those things that happen inside of me. And then you have to, instead of being controlled by the environment, i.e. family knocks your door and tells you something that it's not very nice for you, because why is it not very nice? Because you're attached, and that's always an error. And instead of being controlled by that all the time, you have to let it go, get rid of it. And I mean really get rid of it, because if you don't get rid of that, I saw this happen to my late wife. She couldn't get rid of a daughter that was just trouble, all the time trouble. There was no need for it. And she was spoiled by her grandparents, and she used it. There's these interplays going on within families, you know, between children and parents, and between parents and parents for children. And it's all deep stuff. If you meditate, you become aware of all these things that's going on, and you're very aware. And when you're not aware, you just, like I said, know you're a ball in the wind. And
yes,
you've got no control of life. Life is controlling you.
Yeah.
And you need to get control.
And that will erode your mental health.
Yeah.
Because it causes so much stress.
Yes. And there are various stages towards finding inner happiness. And not happiness dependent on anything and everything in your life going right. You have to look at everything that you're dependent on, I mean psychologically. And you, even if there's nothing going wrong between you and those people, you really got to make sure that your inner being is not dependent upon your relationships with the outside world and people in that outside world.
But why do people do that? They find their worth in the eyes of others instead of realizing how worthy they are already. No matter what they do, no matter what they have done, no matter what have happened to them, they are worthy human beings.
Well,
and we don't need the approval of other people or the visits of other people. We live a very solitude life, don't we?
Yeah.
And that is our choice. And everybody who causes trouble is out.
Yeah.
We have no tolerance for bad behavior.
There's no need for it.
No.
And
out.
You have to be strict on that with people. There's no need. If they recognize they're wrong and they come back and they regret that their behavior, you know, that's fine.
Then you give again. You give your hand.
Yeah. But if they can't change their behavior,
then please
then you
leave.
have to change your behavior. You have to change your situation with them.
Life is too precious
and
to
get rid of it.
To waste it on
hard.
negativity.
It sounds hard, doesn't it?
It isn't hard. I didn't find it hard.
No, okay.
Because of the meditation.
I can't imagine Tammy doing that.
No, but it's the meditation that brought me to this point.
Yeah.
That I do not need other people in my life to feel this. We were going to do a video about the bag of happiness that we all carry within us. And that is a sentence our granddaughter Aruna told us while she was, you know, like a little girl.
Yeah, we took her over
hip hops on her toes, and then she looks up at you and she said, "Granddad, I have a bag full of happiness in my belly." And that is how we should be as a child, close to the source of happiness, because not happiness like Ozay said from stuff outside, but that source in our belly where our source of the bag of happiness lies. Aruna says it lies in her belly, the bag of happiness. Yeah. And there's many things.
Do you know why that child? She's a child.
6 years old.
This brings me on to the next stage, right? This is a science, this talk really. Meditation is a science, And I know there's some people out there who I've debated with in my groups, Crazy Wisdom, and they think that it's religious hocus pocus, and it's an absolute science. Meditation, enlightenment is an absolute science, and it has stages. And first of all, the first stage is to actually sit down and sit still. And then it goes into various phases. And then one of the stages, the phases or stages of going, in meditation and going towards enlightenment is bliss and joy. And from that is happiness. And that's a permanent stage. But that only happens when you have learned to detach. So what you're doing, those things out there that you like people, you've looked at yourself through their eyes and you've tried to make yourself look good. So you're a slave to looking at yourself through other people's eyes. And you don't do that. You just become you. You're pure you. And when you allow yourself to become depressed and unhappy because other people have said nasty things to you, you have done a bad trade-off inside yourself, because you've become reliant, you've become hooked on the addiction of the outside world, and it's just not it. That's not real happiness. It's only the only thing you get from that is from people is momentary. Oh, they just turned up. Wow, yeah, that's great for a moment, and then they go. You're unhappy, or they come back and they're bad children, and or if you don't give me some money, then I'm not coming round next week, maybe, or maybe I won't come round the week after.
Or,
and it's all.
Or if you talk in a certain way, I don't like you, I don't want you in my life. If you behave in a certain way, well, then I don't come here anymore, I don't want to see you. So the children is going to determine how you can behave, what you can say, what you can do.
Yeah.
No way, I will be a prisoner of that.
Yeah, when you live like that, you're like a hyena.
Yeah.
You're just looking around for morsels, and you're eating crap food all the time, and everything that you get from your family and you depend on for your happiness is like you're just useless, and you just shouldn't, we shouldn't be like that. I know a lot of us are like it, but it's just...
There is better. That is what we're trying to say.
You've made the worst trade-off.
There is better.
Yeah.
We can live like kings.
Yeah.
If we are happy within
Instead
ourselves.
Of hyenas,
And then from that happiness within ourselves, we can be very generous in giving. But we will never be dictated by the outside world to feel outwardly a certain emotion that is only temporarily and needs to be replaced again. So the giving continues even after people behave badly. If they ring your doorbell and say sorry, I didn't know better, but I do now. Welcome. But as soon as they misbehave, we can.
But you have to check yourself too, as well, because you might act in a certain way, and you're not acting again from the same place. It's when you do like, you treated me like this, and now I'm going to get you back one day. That's what happens in people's mind. They don't think it like consciously, but there's a subconscious thing going on. It's
a power struggle all the time, isn't
like
it?
two lovers. I mean, let's say there's the guy lets the girlfriend down by having relations with another woman, then he comes back, oh, I forgive you. And then, like, within 6 months, something nasty comes from the other side, and it's like subconscious. And that's what tends to happen, because it's an impression that sinks into you and makes you feel, in a certain way. The first impression with two young lovers is nice towards each other. And then an impression comes about this lover for this person. That impression stays. It impresses a kind of a viewpoint of, and you can't you can't, because it's subconscious. You're not aware of it. Like you've not verbalized it, and you've not thought about it. Only it's given you a feeling, and that feeling is can't trust her, can't trust him, and fully. Although you say you do, that's where we kind of lie a lot. Again, these things I'm speaking about is things that I discovered through deep meditation, understanding the nature of myself.
Within yourself.
And by understanding yourself, you will understand everyone else's other self, because, one of the things you have to come to as well is the recognition that you're a complete fraud, fake. And
that is a beauty online with you as well, with people. You point something out, because people say that they are in search of spirituality, and then you point something out, and then one of the sentences I hear a lot is like, "But you don't know me at all."
Yeah,
but
I do.
they don't realize that somebody has found enlightenment, who has experienced enlightenment, does know everybody, because we are not different. We look different. We look different, and we have a different mind, and we talk differently, we walk differently, but all our needs and wants and how we manipulate each other is all the same game, isn't it?
And what we are
same
is
trait.
Yeah, and what we are is behind the mind and behind the body.
And you see through the mask of people.
Yeah, and it's because my own state really is, when I first came back into living society after the enlightenment from being in isolation, I wasn't real. I had to develop a persona, and it was laughable that people would, for me, because I was able to go beyond my personality and dissolve it. It was gone dead. That persona died, absolutely dead. It don't exist, not a non-entity. And then I saw that people couldn't live with the real I that I am, let's say, because it's just not functional in this world that we have created, this illusionary world we create. And part of those illusions that we create is a sense of familyship and stuff like that. And I can hear you saying out there, like, yeah, you got to have family, but it was when you go into the super consciousness or the enlightened state, everything is your family. You're one. And like, this is not Ahiranta, this is me. I mean, it really is. And a blade of grass is me.
There is no separation.
There's no separation. And and then you listen to a family member or a friend taking themselves seriously, like.
Yeah, and blood goes before everything else.
Yeah, and but
yeah,
that thing they're taking seriously is what an enlightened person, a person who's gone through enlightenment, is dissolved. It's gone. It don't exist. It really is an illusion. You are not real. You, I, me, when, me, this, and that thing that you keep fighting for all the time, this to be seen as this something you've been creating, this fake I. And so it was, I know that people can't deal with silence, and it's in silence that you dissolve that fake I. And so, you've got another I from your family members, and your friends, and they look at you and you show yourself and you want to be seen in this way. No, don't do that. Don't fall into that trap. Just be free from I, me, and all the rest of that stuff, because it's a trap, and let it go. And I know it sounds hard, and I'm thinking of like Tammy, and I'm thinking like I want to give her a magic bullet, like, and mental health. Well, mental health, what is anxiety. Who causes the anxiety, like, if if I think the world is doing me short because I make measures for everybody to follow, then sooner or later, yeah, I'm trying to control that world for me because I want something from it, which is absolute illusion. It's absolute illusion. It's not real, right? When you find yourself and you can let go of all that fake I stuff, that fake wanting to be seen. You know what you want to do? What I done, I remember doing this myself actually. And when I started developing the cancer called my ego again, and it was, I would remember that one of my traits was not to show myself up in front of people. And that is a sure sign that, I'm losing my realization of the nature of my true self, because I'm giving more importance to that fake I, how I am perceived by others.
The
do you
image,
know what I used to do?
The image, yeah.
I'm going to tell you some stories now, and that is like, I really had to get rid of that. I knew how important, I knew when I first came here to live that I'm attached. I'm going to be attached to a wife. I'm attached to a wife. I'm attached to a building, and I have to have a job. I become attached to the job, and there's all those attachments. You can work to free yourself and become non-attached, but that's really difficult for a lot of people. It's so much easier in isolation. For me it was. And so anyway, I forgot where I was going with this. Was you with me? You're tired, aren't you?
No, I'm listening. Well, you was going to tell the story that you probably cracked a microphone.
Ah, right, yeah. And I was I was brought up in the valleys of Wales as a very quiet young boy and very shy and timid. And I would, be, that kind of background, and I wouldn't put myself out front and, show myself up was the thing, and I didn't want people to think badly of me, and that's why that was, shyness is, in a way, is a bit of a imprisonment, really. You're controlled by how you think other people think about you, so you're too scared to say anything. And that was my one of my primary traits. And you know what I did when I saw the cancer of my ego starting to grow back? Whenever there was a family function and I had an opportunity to really show that cancer, that my ego, that persona, my personality, who I called me all the time, do you know what I do? There was this one incident where we go out, big family gathering, and we go out and everybody's like, yeah, let's go out, it's Friday night sort of thing. And down the pub, they got an entertainment on down there, they got a singer down there, And so, and he's up there singing, this guy we walk in there, and he's singing, and he's bringing the microphone, and, we're doing like the 70s and all that kind of stuff, and the 60s music, and I say, yeah. And our little group, we were a little bit, because there's, we got Greek in our family, and they're a little bit sometimes loud. And anyway, and again, it's like I said, my awareness of people and because of being aware of myself, I mean, that self is fake. And I'm aware of how people's minds are structuring in certain situations. And the singer, he's singing away like this and this. That's not over here, these Greeks, half Greeks. And yeah. So I know what he's going to do before he does it. He comes over, and he sticks a mic to me, to shut us up, basically. So you've got to sing with him. And I'm really, shy kind of thing. So, and I thought, yeah, this is an opportunity now. And so I grabbed the mic off him like this, right? I jump up on the table and I start singing with some of the words were wrong, of course.
He's showing himself off.
Yeah, really. And I was like, he's trying to grab the mic off me, and there was a bit of a struggle going on. I was keeping the mic like that and singing, and people was laughing. It was funny, but that for me was overcoming an hurdle. And then there was another time that the same thing again. I needed to overcome my cancer that was starting to come back again. And this time it was, Yeah, it was Dance of the Flaming Assholes. No, I won't go into that. Anyway, I think you
No,
get
but
the point.
there is also a photo of you. I will put it on there, where you take all your clothes off and stand between the two older ladies.
Yeah.
So there is many ways to give yourself a gift, because this talk is about giving.
Yeah.
Give yourself the gift of freedom by free yourself from the opinions of others, from the demands of others, is to lose that self-image.
Yeah, that's right.
And by doing something just outrageous, what this might be perceived as
Go
outrageous.
against it. 180 degrees. Go against what you most fear.
Yeah. So
just as a practice.
If you don't mind, I'm going to read a list that I prepared about what we can do if we wake up in the early morning and feel really dark. Some people, and tiredness has something to do with this. So there's a few things that we can do before we start. What we can do about turning our anxiety and darkness into and give ourselves happiness, even if it's temporarily happiness. We have to start. It's better than living on a dark cloud and not getting out of bed. First of all, recognize that your day is dark, your moment is dark, not the day, the moment is dark. So recognize that you have choices. And when you lack energy, I am an expert about not having energy. It's very, very difficult for some people to motivate themselves. So it would be really helpful if there's somebody next to you that motivates you. But if that is not the case, then there are things you can do. For example, I could be so tired I could not even stand in the shower, but I would still find a way to feel better in other ways, for example. So and that was done. If Ozay would walk into the room, I would give him a smile. That I could do. I was that tired, but that I could do. And that you can do. If you have a bit more energy, sing along with a song. And not sing from here, but from your belly. Sing, feel the words. Don't put sad music on, because it will, if you do that from your belly, it will increase your emotions. So uplifting music and sing along. Do a little dance if you have the energy. Dance. That really changes the chemicals in your body. Don't dance if you want to dance like Saul by the Creek. Do it. Yeah. But if you're already low in energy, do another dance that you don't burn yourself out. Watch something on the TV, but put a timer on. Don't waste your whole day behind the TV if possible. Something that makes you laugh. Put something funny on, just to shift. See if that can shift, and that you can give yourself some happiness. And then we have visualization. We can use visualization. Visualize yourself in a happy place. What is your happy place? Yeah. And that's a meditation in itself. Yeah. Visualize yourself. Visualize the sun shining on your face when it's dark and winter, because I know in the other side of the world they are moving towards the winter. So if it is Tammy told us that they call it not drizzle rain, but bristle rain. Drizzle. Nee, they call it with the B, bristle. Something like that. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong.
Australia.
So just do a mantra. Find yourself a mantra that uplifts your spirit. That is a gift to yourself. You can change the whole energy within yourself by repeating certain words. If you have trouble finding the right thing to repeat, it can be as simple as the sun is shining in my head, or I am
like a child.
Yeah, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to find my bag of happiness. I am going to find my bag of happiness. Keep repeating it until you really feel it inside yourself. Yeah. That's a gift to yourself.
I would just like to pop something in there.
Well, I am not allowing him to do that, because he just talked for 20 minutes. I want to keep the list going. Sorry, my darling. Then we mentioned the hardwired brain that we all have about the chemicals we can change in our body, just by giving. And then sacrifice is giving. So if you sacrifice something, for example, you have your mind set, and it's a really small sacrifices. It's just not holding on to your own ideas. If somebody says, do you know what, I would like to go with the bus today, but you had other plans. If you know that going with the bus brings something to the other person, you sacrifice your own plan. That's what Ozay does for me. And somehow I just lost my page. So whatever you wanted to say, this is your chance until I find it back.
Okay.
Okay, well.
It related to mantra, and what you were doing is creating an impression, because all through the day you're getting impressions everywhere. It's like food. Impressions is food. That's why they become dreams when you go to bed at night, and it's another food that. So like certain people have certain impressions to you. And there's something about everyone that you have a different impression from, and in your dreams they'll come up as a certain symbol of how that person impresses upon you. And if they are horrible people, it'll be something horrible. And if they are people you feel close to, it'll be somebody who's like a president or a queen or a king or something like that in your dreams. So, they're all symbolic and archetypical.
You might end up dreaming about Trump.
Yeah.
And another thing that can change your energy in a lighter state, and is a gift to yourself again, is to listen to somebody who sits next to you and tells. It can be as simple as the person is telling you about their day. You might be completely not interested, but give the person your full attention. Look at the person and don't judge them. Don't make up scenarios in your head or go on your own stories in your head. Stay with the person. You are giving that person your energy. And that is very healing. Not that that person needs healing, maybe, but it is a gift. And it doesn't cost you nothing. And it makes you feel really good. So that can uplift your day, and you give yourself a path to your inner happiness.
Yeah, anxiety is...
I wasn't finished yet. Number 9.
Oh, I think I'll just have a cup of tea.
Yeah, nice. One gift each day, one day, one at a time. Don't become automatic. Let the ego rest. Now, I think Ozay already pointed that out, that the way of giving is very important. But try to give every day. If in every moment, in every opportunity, if you see an opportunity, don't use another person for your giving. But if you see a true need somewhere, and it can be as easy as a smile. We saw some older people, and if you just tell them good morning, you might be the only person that day that speaks to that person. You don't know. You don't know how important it is. And then another thing you can do. Giving is this: make a vlog, have a phone, make some videos. Tammy talks about her mental health. Even when she's low, she made a vlog. I will put her website, her YouTube channel here. Please check it out. It is wonderful. She deserves to get more subscribers. She just speaks about her mental health and how she struggles with that sometimes. And she's trying her best to get out of it. Well done, Tammy. Really, really proud of you for that. So another one is decide each morning what will be your gift for that day.
I've been thinking about that.
So when you wake up, decide what your gift is going to be that day. What are you going to give? And not again to use other people, so you can feel better, but truly give, because it will make you move closer to your own inner happiness. And then here it is, evocation, influence it has for the rest of the day.
Invocation.
Yeah, so you say something about that, yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually a good finishing point there, because it's where I wanted to go, because we were speaking about how you look at yourself through other people's eyes, and how that invokes. If you think they look at you in a certain way, or if they do look at you in a certain way, it invokes feelings about yourself. And so it's an impression that you take in, and it makes you feel like crap, really. So what do? We need to change something, right? And basically, it's the story. It's the storyline. Instead of saying, I have mental health, okay, if you have mental health, I'm not going to say you haven't, but try to change the story. Because we make things real by repeating it over and over and over and over again. And so therefore...
Why not repeat something positive?
In the morning when we wake up, that's an important part of the day. Let's create a nice story. It's the beginning, once upon a time. And if you keep creating a nice story, then your anxiety, your mental health, is, instead of saying, I have mental health issues, and I'm not asking anyone not to take medication or anything like that.
No.
I can relate to it because all through my early life, I went through times where I was on the edge of committing suicide and stuff like that. And yeah, that reminds me of what freed me. I always used to come to this point where when I thought about suicide, and that was depression and anxiety because I didn't like where I was. And I'd imagine that once I die, that all these people and all these thoughts I got about these people and they got about me can't be there anymore. I'll be free of it, and then I'll be gone. Then none of that can affect me. And then, it was the key was all these thoughts, all these people, and I'm dead. And then I suddenly realised something, and that was that these thoughts and these people and how they view me and how I view them, when I'm dead, is gone. But the funny thing is, you can die in another way by being alive, and that is dead. All that dead. Okay? Kill it. Kill yourself in that respect. That person, that's misery, kill it. Because
the personality, not yourself, not your physical self.
Not your physical self.
Let that be very clear.
Just imagine, like I did when it used to get really bad, and I was like a few times, I came really close to the edge of it, and ready to end it because I just couldn't do it as a young person. And then I would go into this silence, and there's a kind of like liberation already, like I'm going to kill myself. I come close to it, I'm going to kill myself. And then there's a relaxation that kicks in there, because any moment now you're going to be free from all this shit that you've had to put up with, free from the whole lot of this crap. And then, you imagine yourself, you're doing it. And then suddenly, the strength of emphasis you give to all those things, those thoughts, you realise that that's just what they are. They're thoughts. They're things, they're people. How you view yourself through other people's eyes, how you view them and what you're holding on to. When you're dead, you can't hold on to them. Do you see what I mean? Is there a liberation there for you? Is that a golden bullet for you? It got to be. It was the golden bullet for me. And if it's not the golden bullet for you, then I'm not saying it how I should be saying it. There is liberation for you. Wake up in the morning, right? Today is the beginning of the rest of your life. A nice old saying I've heard somewhere. And you are the author. You. Are you going to keep carrying on writing the same shitty old words? I'm got mental health problems. I'm stuck in this house all day. I got nothing to do. My family hates me. My children hate me. Well, good luck to them. Bugger them off. And because you really, if you don't, they will kill you in another way, and that will be your anxiety, your depressions, your stress that you're picking up from dealing with it in the wrong way. That will kill you.
You can make a decision in the morning to make a scenario. I'm going to be happy from now on.
Yeah, that's right.
And in the beginning, you don't believe it, but if you start repeating something, because everything you surround yourself with, that is what you become. If you surround yourself with really dark people, negative people, you become a victim mildew. You become dark and critical, and if you surround yourself with people who are aggressive, sooner or later you will start showing aggressive traits. If you surround yourself with people who swear in every sentence they speak, your speech will be altered. So why not make really nice adjustments to your day just by pretending? Don't put your feelings deep inside yourself and don't acknowledge them. See them, but don't identify with them. So make a nice story. Today I'm going to sing all day. I'm going to sing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be happy no matter what other people do to me.
What if the bad feeling comes?
Then you acknowledge it,
Yeah.
but you do not identify with it, and you let it pass by, and you start singing again, because you fall back in those old grooves, because you're so used to it, but you are going to create a new groove. I'm going to be happy today. I'm going to cook. I'm going to sing. I'm going to do hobbies, or I'm going to for a walk, or maybe all of those things. I'm going to make a vlog, and I'm going to sing. I'm going to sing. I'm going to be happy today. And if the sadness returns, you look at it.
It only returns because you're attached again.
Yeah, you look at it. It's a habit as well, and
habitual behaviour.
And
playing the same story.
And if there is a mechanical, because if we do things often enough, our chemical balance in our body changes. And that can be a disbalance towards the dark side. But it can also become a balanced, very balanced energy inside. And then the sun starts shining more and more and more. Why?
Yeah.
Because we make that choice. Happiness does not happen on its own accord for most people, because we are so absorbed in the outside world that we no longer have contact with our inner bag of happiness. So we need to recondition ourselves, get rid of what we are used to, get rid of our habits, get rid of our thinking patterns, our behavior, and create new ones. That's the road towards meditation and your inner happiness. That's where your inner happiness lies waiting. It's there. It's a gift for every. It's a gift. This talk was about giving. Meditation, the biggest gift I've ever given myself, and I think you agree that meditation was your biggest gift.
Yeah. And what you find as well in meditation is that that member of the family that was causing you so much grief, anxiety, and stress is not actually the member of the family, but it's a kink in your, it's a flaw in your being, and it's what you were here to overcome in this life. And so, as Ahiranta said, create a new story, right? But sooner or later that person will turn up in another form because it's to do with you. And so you have to become realized of that, and that you have to undo. And often you can get taken back in time and to a point in your life where it was concentrated around one development or one happening that happened to you, and it was pinpointed right there, and you use a child mind to deal with it, and then after that you thought it through as a child, let's say 5, 6 or whatever, and so in the future you would come across it again in a different form, say another person who's acting in a certain way that creates a certain something in you that keeps repeating itself. And so the child, very immature and not very wise, reacts, and not with thought anymore, just reacts because it's already been thought through. You've already created the ground map, which way to go when you feel like this, which way to go when I feel like this. And so you go this way, you know. And so you have to go back and talk with the child. Again, we spoke about this, didn't we, about the child in yourself, but didn't give you the proper answers, and yet those answers you're still living by today, as if they are written in stone, you know, and they're not. You can undo it. Undo the child. Go back to the child who wasn't very wise. Speak with the child over the situation. Sit down there and speak with the child. And the child is wrong. It did you well for a while, for a good part of your life, but now, as an older person, it's actually having something to do with your downfall.
Yeah, it's time not longer to be ruled by our inner child, isn't it?
And so the child needs to be, got rid of. I don't agree with what some of the psychologists say, that the child helped you. Yeah, the child helped you, but the child's in your past now. And you shouldn't be controlled by the wisdom of a child any longer.
No, but when they say you don't get rid of the child, that doesn't mean that you have to keep it alive. No, the inner child will dissolve.
Understand it, yeah.
It will dissolve on its own accord. You don't get rid of it.
Yeah, that's right.
It dissolves by understanding how it works inside ourselves. You just cannot say, I cut my inner child out and everything will be okay. No, because you still carry the baggage, you still carry the effects, you still haven't cleaned house.
Yeah.
So we have to acknowledge the inner child, see where the trait comes from that we are carrying, and then the understanding, total understanding, the insight, through meditation, will dissolve.
Yeah.
And it will dissolve the whole path, that whole behavior that came from that will undo.
And, it's just, a lot of us, we are stuck, like, in our childlike men, subconsciously. We have to say subconsciously, because, a lot of people out there, they know, you can speak to them. They've been reading all the books, and they know all those answers intellectually, yeah? We all know the answers intellectually. And so we have to get down deep into the subconscious. And that's meditation. Like it or not, we all made the same, and we all put this personality together from experiences from childhood, and as we grew, mostly from the childhood. And from our experiences, both negative and positive, and we thought as a child, and we have to go back, and you have to sit down, really relax. Like I said, I used to go through I think it must have been about 3-4 times maybe, I'm not sure, where I went to that point of wanting to commit suicide and imagining when I'm dead, really going through it, and I'm really dropped down, because as soon as you think, well, it's going to be the end soon, I'm going on this trip soon, away from you, I won't be here anymore,
all my suffering will end.
All my suffering will end, it's all gone. No one will be able to think and be horrible to me and all this. When I'm dead, that'll be it then, won't it? I'm free. And like I said, it wasn't nothing to do with my body, my body is one thing. I was, as a child, I was getting physically abused, not sexually, physically, I mean violence. And you can't escape that when you're a child. And I managed to eventually. But the mind stuff is what you need to escape from. That was the biggest punisher. I mean, today now, I can take lots of pain, and the worst kind of pain is the pain we give to ourselves, in our minds. And like I said, who is the author? Who writes that book? You can make a story about somebody being nasty in your family to you, right? They're horrible pieces of shit, let's say. That's being honest and blunt about it. Some family members to their parents, especially now, are horrible pieces of shit, to be honest with you. And only because they've not been brought up correctly. We missed things. We were so kind, and they were so we allowed them to become so self-centered, and we made a mistake because they think as adults it's all about them. It's not about you, And they don't care how they make you feel, if you feel horrible. I mean, they love that because it's their tool, to get something from you because it makes them feel nice. That you feel bad or that...
It makes them feel powerful.
Yeah, it makes them feel powerful.
And some children, even as adults, still want to be in charge, want to have control. They feel it comes from a high need of control. They want to control everything around them. But not everybody who has a high need of control become nasty, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's so many factors in play.
Yeah.
But I think we have covered the subject
Just
of
remember,
giving,
in
how
the
we
morning.
can take control. We are not victims. It does not happen to us.
You are the author.
Everything is an effect of choices made.
Yeah.
That means we can undo it and we can make a change.
Yeah.
And we can become happy. And okay, you might not be statically happy every day, all day, but we live a happy life. That doesn't mean we are singing all day and we're laughing all day, but we are content. There's a contentness in the inner happiness. That is the effect. If you live from your own inner source, you have a feeling of being content, and you don't chase the wind anymore. And just the fact that you don't chase the wind anymore is a really freeing and tremendously freeing experience. So continue meditation, and those who haven't,
And when you feel suffering again, remember you're feeling suffering because you're attached. So get a big sword and cut through all those attachments that's causing you suffering, because they're going to kill you. It's as simple as that.
Through stress.
What are you on?
When we say about killing and all that is all metaphorically meant.
Metaphorical meaning.
Don't get that all wrong. We don't condone any form of violence. But why are we so violent towards ourselves?
That's right.
Yes.
We're the worst propagators of our own inner violence.
Okay.
In vocation. And again, I'll go back to the morning. Tomorrow morning, Tammy, when you wake up, I'd like you to relax, right? Lie in the bed. And I know that some mornings you don't want to face the day, and stuff like that. And you think of all these bad things, right? So, you're probably repeating an old story. Okay? Now, tomorrow morning, when you're in bed, right, and you're going through the usual waking up routine, stay in bed a little bit longer and create a nice, beautiful story. Life is a bliss, life is joy. And it's a beautiful experience that, we're all here, and we are lucky to have this beautiful experience of life. And we have to understand and know who the author of that life is, and it's you, me, us. There's no need to create a nasty story. If those children are going to be horrible, that's their story. It doesn't need to be yours. Okay?
Yeah. Be happy.
Be happy.
Be happy.
The Happy Life Show.
Yeah, the Happy Life Show.
Yeah.
So give where you can give where you see a need, no matter how small. Give yourself the gift of meditation, mindfulness, so important. It truly will change your life as it has changed ours.
Yeah. And talk about giving, folks. Don't forget we have a serious charity, and we like to fund our Friday night. It's from the Nag's Head.
Nag's Head.
We'll leave the link down below so they can send all the donations, and we'll spend it on a nice worthy cause for you.
That's right. Spread the happiness.
Yeah. Happy.
All right, everybody.
Bye,
Thank you for watching. Bye, Tammy and Bert.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Sorry. Yeah, take care.
Bye.
Bye.